Yeah, everything's going well. Obviously, we were disappointed for a very short time about our result against Mexico. I think when we look at it a little bit more closely, there's a lot about that performance that we can like and think that we're improving as the tournament continues to go on. But we move very quickly from that result to our preparations for this next match with Honduras. And I think the players are very well prepared and very eager and very ready for this penultimate.
Thank you, Jason. We'll now take questions. If you have a question you'd like to ask Jason, go ahead and raise your hand with the function in Zoom. We'll start with Charles Bowen from MLSsoccer.com. Charles, go ahead.
Hi, Jason. Quickly, I wanted to ask about Hassani Dotson's health. Is he available and fit? And are there any other injury concerns that you're dealing with now? And then also, if you could give a word about the dangers that you see as Honduras is possessing.
Yeah, Charles Hassani went out of the last game with an ankle sprain. He did not train yesterday. He trained for a little bit today. I think it's still a little bit questionable as to whether or not he'll be in the lineup. The second part of your question again, Charles, sorry?
It was about Honduras and where you see their greatest threats.
Yeah, it's another team that I think has some really, really nice attacking options. Their central midfielder, number 8, Rodriguez, is pulling a lot of the strings. Their right midfielder, who's actually a good player, Reyes, comes inside and is a real danger and threat. The fact that they play with 2 forwards will give us a little bit of a different look than we faced in this tournament so far, and will mean that our back four has to be very connected and very in tune with things. So a dangerous team, a very good team, and I wouldn't have it any other way, actually. We should have to beat a good and dangerous team in order to qualify for the Olympics.
Thank you, Charlie. Next up, we'll take Franco Panizo from SBI Soccer. Franco, go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, Jason, Franco Panizo here from Fort Lauderdale. I just wanted to ask, you guys have obviously been very clear about wanting to stick to a certain style of play throughout the tournament. I understand the reasons for that. Given this is a make or break game with an Olympic qualifying berth on the line, does it necessarily matter for you guys how you go about getting the necessary result, or does it just whatever means necessary to get the win and then move on and continue building what you guys want to build? Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, no problem. I think I hope that I haven't been misunderstood. It is not that we believe in our style over results. We believe in a certain way of playing the game that we, if we do those things correctly, if we manage our game model correctly, we believe that will give us the best chance to win. And I don't think there's anything about the style of our play or how we've been trying to play here that has led to any poor results. So from my point of view, I think it's easy to do both, but the focus for sure is on winning. We take it any way we can get it.
Thank you, Franco. Next up, we'll take Ron Blum from the Associated Press. Ron, go ahead.
Hi, Jason. Are there things you see at the beginning of the game where you can tell whether your team is playing well or not? And if you see things not going, what are the things in your mind that you try to do immediately to change things?
Yeah, Ron, I think as a coach, you're always expecting a certain type of start to the game, or always hopeful for a certain type of start to the game. And for me, that's an aggressive start. It's an aggressive way of defending. It's an aggressive way of pressing when you lose the ball. And it's an aggressive way of moving the ball forward quickly when you have it. And so you're looking for some of that tempo at the beginning of the games. You're looking for the players to show that they feel assured of themselves and are in a good moment. And then if those things don't come off, I think mostly from my point of view on the sideline during the 45 minutes of the first half, it's about trying to continue to encourage the players, because you know what their potential is and you know what they're capable of. So even though players may not be able to perform at their absolute best every single match, what you're asking is for those players to play close to their best or be moving towards their potential. So from my point of view, it's mostly about, positivity and confidence with the messaging that we're giving them. And then there's some slight tactical things that we can change to perhaps put them in a more forward-thinking position.
Thank you, Ron. Next up, we'll take Jeff Carlisle from ESPN. Jeff, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, Jason. Just wondering what your assessment of the three center backs that you've used so far, and have you made a decision about, which ones are going to see the field or at least start the game tomorrow?
I've been really pleased with all three, to be completely frank. And I think all three have had the majority good moments. All three have also had a minority of bad moments, where they've just lost focus a little bit, given the ball away in dangerous positions. It's mostly been what they've done with the ball that I think hasn't been absolute 100%. What they've done without the ball, I would say all three of them have been really positive. Made some critical coverages of outside backs, covering each other, defensive plays, tackles. We saw a couple really good tackles in the last game by Kessler and Pineda. And so what those three players have done for the coaching staff has made it extremely difficult for the decision. We've made one, but we're not going to announce it here.
Thanks, Jeff. Next up, we'll take Juan Carlos Megua from the Area Sports Network. Juan Carlos, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to ask you, given that in the last game, we could say that in a way, both teams, you and Mexico, were not really playing for anything, risky. You guys were both qualified at that moment. And maybe the fact that also, Honduras has been at the Olympics before, does that add pressure to your team maybe at some point for the next game? Maybe that psychological aspect, like maybe plays against you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think with some insight on your part to look for some sort of answer there. But from my point of view, I don't think that Honduras has any more experience or leverage in this situation, because again, the teams that qualify for these Olympics every 4 years are completely different. And so it's not like this team from Honduras has been to the last 3 Olympics. No, this is not the case. This team that's representing Honduras is a brand new team trying to make a brand new Olympics, just like our team. So I don't think either team has any sort of experience or confidence factor when it comes to this game.
Next up, we'll take Sergio Venegas from Plaza de Armas. Sergio, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing today? I'm Sergio Venegas from Deportes. What do you expect for the game of tomorrow of Honduras? You know that it's your most important game maybe from the tournament. You've been coming and saying that from all that I'm just looking at you. What do you expect from Honduras? And you think you will go to the penalty kicks? And good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Sergio. Appreciate your energy. Yeah, I mean, look, there's no doubt about it. The way the qualification tournament is set up, and to get to this game, I mean, you're 100% clearly just trying to get to this game. I think in some ways it's a little unfortunate that we have to have one-off games to qualify for Olympics, but it is what it is. And so, yes, it's a massive game, and a game that we are going to be doing everything possible to win. And so, do I think it's going to be a tight game? Absolutely. I mean, Honduras is a very, very good team. They've shown, I think, similar to us, that they've gotten better and better. This last game against Canada was clearly their best performance. And they show that they are extremely dangerous. So I think it's going to be an outstanding game. I'm excited to watch it and hopeful that our guys bring their best, because I believe if we're at our best, we'll win.
Last few questions here. Next up, we'll take from San Pedro Sula, Omar Gutierrez from Diario 10. Omar, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Coach. I just want to ask you, which are your player from the Honduran squad who impressed you the most, and how will you build the U.S. team to stop them?
Yeah, I think, as I said before, number 8, Rodriguez in the center of midfield, their captain, number 15, who I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, Arriaga, I think is his name, who's now suspended for this game. I think we have to feel a little bit fortunate that he is, because to me, he feels like the heart and soul of the Honduran team when we watch him play. Rivas, a second forward. We just got our first look at him in this last match as he's come in from his European club duties. Looks a really intelligent and good player. And then the player that played on the right wing in the last match, Reyes, was really, really influential on all the positive attacking movements for Honduras. So some really good players. And I think, going past that, both their center backs look to be really experienced, good leaders, communicators. So it's a good team, as I said, a good team with lots of good players, and we expect a massive challenge tomorrow night.
Awesome. That's all our questions for Jason. Appreciate the time, Jason. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Take care, everybody.
All right, give us a few moments, and we'll next have our captain, midfielder Jackson Ewell. All right, we're now joined by U.S. under-23 men's national team captain, midfielder Jackson Ewell. Jackson, obviously, solid start to the tournament. Now it's time for the big one. What's the team's mindset like heading into tomorrow's semifinal?
Yeah, I think it's just keep building off the games and keep the momentum. This is a game that we wanted in the tournament. We wanted to be in the semifinals and get ourselves an opportunity. And I think, the most important thing is coming out with the right mindset and intensity for the game. We know it'll be a good opponent and a hard game, but I think the team is ready for the challenge and ready to get after it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackson. We'll now start with questions, beginning with Ron Blum from the Associated Press. Ron, go ahead.
Hi, Jackson. When you look at the failure of the U.S. to reach the last two Olympics and the 2018 World Cup, do you and the guys think about this as an opportunity to change that tread line and start to reestablish the U.S. program?
Yeah, I think, every tournament from now going forward is an opportunity for U.S. soccer. You started in Nations League, and then I think it goes on to this tournament and the tournaments in the summer and World Cup qualifiers. I think each opportunity that you're with the national team is an opportunity to stake your claim and to increase U.S. soccer and make it better. So I think the team is looking really good, and we're ready to make the most of this moment and do our best with it.
Next up, we'll take Juan Carlos Magua from the Area Sports Network. Juan Carlos, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? I wanted to ask this question to the coach, but it just came up right now. Has the team maybe practiced penalties given the possibility that you guys might go to extra time and maybe also, penalties in tomorrow's game?
Yeah, we know that's a factor in these knockout stages, and it's something that we have been practicing and getting ready for. So I think hopefully we can do as much and as well as we can in the 90th minute in the 90 minutes. But I think the team would be ready if PKs come to it.
Next up, we'll take Franco Panizo from SBI Soccer. Franco, go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, just wanted to quickly ask, what kind of game do you expect from Honduras tomorrow? I'm sure you guys have done some game film, some studying to see what kind of opponent you're facing. They're obviously going to be missing one of, if not their most important player in Arriaga in that midfield. But so what kind of game do you expect Honduras to try to bring to you, or maybe sit back and defend? What kind of game are you guys expecting? Thank you.
Yeah, we're expecting an intense game. I think they're a very aggressive team going forward, and defenders and their midfield especially are high pressing and like to get after it. But I think it's a really good team. It'll be a really good challenge for us. They have a lot of good crafty players with the ball, so I think it'll be important for us to minimize those guys' opportunities and try to maximize our opportunities. I think getting behind will be important for us, and creating a lot of chances through the middle. But they're a very good team, and I think we'll be ready for the challenge.
Thank you, Franco. Take a last call for questions for Jackson here. If anyone has a question, go ahead and raise your hand with the Zoom functionality. All right, a few more. Sorry about that, Jackson. Next up, we'll take Sergio Venegas. Sergio, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Jackson. How you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good. I wish you good luck tomorrow. So, it's been a captain
you.
for tomorrow. Do you realize this is the most important game maybe on your career so far? And how do you expect that Honduras will be against you? Thank you very much. I'm from the Portresa, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, it's a the word opportunity has been thrown around a lot, and I think it's a big opportunity for the whole team and the whole coaching staff and for U.S. Soccer to get us back to the Olympics and to kind of show that we're a good team in CONCACAF and that we deserve to be in the big stages and in the world tournaments. So I take great pride in being the captain of this team and helping us as much as possible. And we're looking forward to a good game. I think Honduras has defenders, so we'll try to do our best against that and to counter that. But I think the game will be very good and a very nice game to be a part of. And I think everyone in the team is looking forward for this opportunity to help get U.S. Soccer back into the Olympics.
Thank you. Our last few questions here. Next up, we'll take Jeff Carlisle from ESPN. Jeff, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, Jackson. A lot's been made about, you guys are at altitude and given where you are in your particular season, obviously MLS is in preseason. I mean, but given that you've been in Guadalajara all month, how do you guys feel physically, just in terms of, your stamina, your fitness? How much progress do you think you've made over that time?
Yeah, I think from day one till now, I think there's been a lot of progress. Just the team unity and getting everyone on the same page. I think the first game was a good result, but we saw that there was a lot to learn and a lot to improve. And I think for a lot of guys, hadn't played in 3, 4, 5 months. And so I think, as the games come along, you see a little bit sharper play, a little bit better decision making. And I think, with the team being closer together and getting more games under the belt, having been in the hotel for a long time, having to been in the altitude, I think, guys are getting comfortable and more used to it. So I think we're looking for a good game. I think most guys are starting to hit their stride and hoping to come out strong against Honduras.
Awesome. Next up from Honduras, we'll take Audio Diaz. Omar, go ahead.
Yeah, hi mate, Omar Gutierrez from Honduras. I just want to ask you if you have seen the Honduran games in the group match, and if you did, which are the conclusions that gave you the team, and who do you think are the best players in the squad?
Yeah, I think we definitely watched all the games. I think they have a really aggressive team. I think they're very solid with the ball and they have a lot of movement in their attack, and they like to disrupt the back line a lot. So I think we're going to find challenges, especially with their front two players and their wingers. I think are especially deceptive and quick. I rated Arriaga very highly. I know he's going to be out with suspension, but I think they have a very good team. Defensively as well, they have strong guys, and you saw in the last game that they're very good on set pieces. So I think it'll be a good challenge for us to try to exploit some of their weaknesses and not let them have some of their strengths in going forward.
Thank you, Omar. We'll now take our final question from Franco Panizo of SBI Soccer. Franco, go ahead.
Thanks again. And this might be a hard question to answer from the inside, but obviously there's, when you look at a game that's make or break, you can take finals, for example, there's different types of pressure for each team. For you guys, there's the pressure of getting back to an Olympics after 13 years. For Honduras, is probably getting back to their 4th Olympics. So how much pressure do you guys feel right now with that, in terms of that? How do you feel going into the match? Do you guys feel loose? Do you guys feel ready? Because obviously that can impact how the game is played, the decisions that are made. Maybe you play safer. So again, maybe it's hard to gauge right now as opposed to tomorrow, but how do you guys feel in terms of dealing with that pressure and going into tomorrow's game? Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. I think, all these, knockout stages, and especially the semifinal game with one of the teams or going to the Olympics definitely has a little bit of added pressure. But, I think U.S. Soccer and our team is looking at this as a big opportunity. So I think, the past couple of training sessions have been really good and really sharp. I think the team's really confident with each other. And I think, the unity between each other and the coaching staff has been really good to keep the level high and to keep the confidence high. So we're super excited for the game, and we're looking at it as a challenge and an opportunity to, to bring U.S. Soccer forward and to bring us into Olympics. And so we're excited to get the game off tomorrow. But of course, first whistle could be a whole different story. But we're excited at the moment, and we're feeling really good.
All right. Awesome. Jackson, thank you very much for the time this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Give us a few moments, and we'll have Sam Vines, U23 USMNT defender, take the stand. Thanks, guys. All right. We're now joined by U23 men's national team defender, Sam Vines. Sam, solid start to the tournament. Now we're here for the semifinals. What's the team's mindset going into Sunday's game?
Yeah, the team mindset is just to keep playing the way we've been playing, playing the front foot. And, we're looking for the win. This is to qualify for the Olympics. So I think it's a big game for all of us. And we're all so excited, and we're ready to get this going.
Thank you, Sam. We'll now start with questions and start with Sergio Venegas. Sergio, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, okay. Hi, this is Sergio Venegas from the Portrese. Thank you very much. How do you feel about the game of tomorrow? Because maybe Honduras will be attacking too hard, and you as a defender, you must be expecting all the power of Honduras, and how are you going to try to establish the defending and avoiding they try to score first? Because if they score first, you will be struggling to go back and get to the next stage. And I wish you good luck.
Yeah, thanks. The first 15 minutes, I think, is going to be the most important in the game. I think we have to come out flying as a team and be on the front foot. I think that's the best way for us to defend. The best way to defend is to have the ball and try and keep the ball for as long as you can and just stay on the front foot for as long as you can. So I think the mindset going into tomorrow is just coming out strong, coming out hot, and try and control the first half and hopefully get the first goal. And take control of the game.
Thank you, Sergio. Next up, we'll take Ron Blum from the Associated Press. Ron, go ahead.
Hi, Sam. How have you found playing under Jason during these games? Is the same, and how is it different than when you were playing with Greg and the full national team against Trinidad or last fall?
Yeah, of course, it's very similar in the way they can conduct the team and how they want us outside backs to play. So I think it's been just very similar to each camp. He wants us outside backs to be attacking on the front foot, and also just doing our job defensively. But I think it's very similar in the way that they try and utilize each player and each team. So comparing and contrasting each, I think it's very similar to the way we play for each Greg and Jason.
Thanks, Ron. A reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, go ahead and raise your hand on the sidebar there. Next up, we'll take Franco Panizo from SPI Soccer. Franco, go ahead.
Thanks again, man. Hey, Sam, how are you?
Good. Thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. Just wanted to ask, what kind of going off of the last one, but what is Jason's message to you guys going into this one? Obviously, for a lot of you, if not all of you, this is probably the most important game of your careers in terms of what it means for U.S. soccer, United States. What is Jason's message to you guys going into this one? Obviously, it's a pressure-packed match, but what is Jason's message to you in terms of the importance of the game? So taking it, not over worrying about it that goes into it. So, what is Jason's message to you guys right now? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a very important game, especially for this tournament. This is to qualify for the Olympics, and obviously it's a huge game for all of us. It's probably one of the biggest games that any of us have played in, like you said. So I mean, his message is just to play how we've been playing, play smart, play strong, play on the front foot, and try and control the game for as long as you can. Obviously, it's not always going to go the way we want, but the way to get results is, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's harder. I think tomorrow's going to be a tough match, and I think we're just going to have to try and play on the front foot, be more aggressive than the other team, and try and score more goals, obviously, is the goal, and to qualify for the Olympics. So, I mean, there's a lot of pressure, but at the end of the day, we're all out here doing the same thing. We're all working towards the same goal. And I think the whole message was just to work as a team and, be on the front foot and ultimately try and win the game.
Thank you. We'll take our last few questions now, and we'll go to Honduras with Omar Gutierrez of Diario 10. Omar, go ahead.
Hi, mate. This is your Omar Gutierrez from Honduras. I wanted to ask you, which are the players from the attacking part that feared you the most, and which you think are the qualities, the weakness of qualities, and the strongest qualities from the Honduran team?
Yeah, I think they're just a good team all around. They have a lot of good players. They have a solid defensive line. I think they have a bunch of creative players going forward. But I think our team as well, we have a solid team. We have a solid back line, solid attacking. And I think that it'll be tough for them to try and break us down. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of good players, as a lot of the teams here in the qualifiers do. I mean, there's a reason that they're in the Final Four. So I think we just need to come out and try and control what we can control, and we just go from there.